This is a tutorial to guide you through creating the magic dot assignment, the first week's assignment, so that in case you forgot what we did in class. So you're going to download Blender, obviously. You're going to open Blender, and you want to choose 2D animation as your default workspace. And we will have this. So the first thing I would do is this. By default, it already gives us this lines and strokes, these two sublayers. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to add another layer, and we're going to use that as a guide to draw our dot. So I'm going to switch from draw mode to object mode, and now I can select this as an object as opposed to its elements. But that's actually not what I want to do. What we're going to do is add another one. So we're going to go to add, grease pencil, and we're going to choose blank. I'm going to go ahead and rename this, and we're just going to call this guide lines. Can I put this underneath? Oh, whatever, doesn't matter. Now that we have that selected, we'll go ahead and we are going to switch back to drawing mode. And in this mode, I can now, you'll see this just has layer one, which is fine. I can actually draw the element. So let me select this. Do I have to make, okay, good. So what I'm gonna do is actually, let's keep it on pencil because I want to keep it lighter anyway. So we're gonna choose pencil, we're gonna choose draw, and then I'm just gonna back this up a little bit so I can see the full composition. And I'm just going to draw my lines, my guidelines. Okay, so um, I'm not sure really what I want to do, but we'll just do something like this. We'll just say we go like that. Okay, just as a start. Now, what you can do from here, which I would suggest, is actually just to draw the hash marks of where you want the your keyframe, your positions to be. But that's not necessary. If you want to skip that, you can. You could just start drawing the dots. But I'm just going to go ahead and do that because I feel like that might be beneficial. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw like a little hash here, a little hash here, a little hash here, a little hash here. And what I'm going to do is I'm attempting to show speed here by drawing these dots. And I'm going to have it slow down here. So we'll have it slow down the most here. So I'm going to go here, here, and then I'm just going to do the rule of halves. So I'm going to go here, 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 and here. Okay, so it'll slow down, and then we'll have it speed back up again. How far was that? Okay, there, and then there, there, and there. And then this is obviously got to end up here. And I'm thinking this would probably just bounce or something like that. So we'll do we'll do one here, like just before it, this, and then it would come off real fast again, and then it would slow down or whatever. But we'll just imagine I did more, right? So I would need enough to do the full 60 frames, which is what the assignment is concerned. But I'm just going to leave that one as it is. That will be my setup. Okay. Now I'm going to do is I'm select the stroke. And if I click on this right here, this will actually switch so now I'm drawing on that. But if that's somehow confusing, you can also just go to here, go to object mode, select the stroke, and then go back here and go into drawing mode. If for some reason that doesn't work, you can see it kind of did the same thing. And you can tell that I have that selected now because now we have lines and fills. So for this, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to keep it on the brush. This is a little like transparent, so I don't really like that as much. I'm going to go ahead and just use the ink pen because that just gives me like a solid line. Now you can use a tablet for this, or you could use a mouse. Is fine as well. I'm going to use a mouse right now just because I don't have like a setup for it to do the tablet. But if you did have a tablet, you will get like notice that when I push harder and lighter, you get that. So like if you were trying to like have like like a line that had weight to it, tablet might be beneficial. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna make this bigger for my dot. We'll say so. I'm using the bracket keys to the right. The P key you can also hit F and drag to adjust your brush size. I'm gonna go down here and we're gonna go to the data. And I'm going to make sure I have lines selected. That looks good because we're going to do the lines. And then I'm going to go to the materials. And I'm going to keep it on solid strokes. Here's stroke. If you want to make any adjustments to this, you can make some adjustments. The type, the style. I'm just going to change the base color just to make something a little more fun. So let's do, we'll just do red. And then all I'm going to do is over here, and let's make this a little bit smaller. I'm just going to do a dot on frame 1. and then I need to go over one frame. I'm going to zoom in now. I'm just going to use my mouse wheel zoom in. I think Control Plus works as well, right? Yeah, Control Plus and minus also works. To pan, it's actually easiest just to use these little things up here if you're using a pen. So I'm just going to use this to pan, but I'll use the scroll bar because I am using. You can also hold Shift and middle mouse button click. That's also pan. Okay, so there's my first frame. So then what I want to do is click over to one frame over, and then the next frame is supposed to be here. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a dot. Um, and then the next frame is one over. So instead of having to do it here, if you use your arrow keys, I can just do it this way. It's a little bit easier. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to put it right there. And then I'll hit the arrow key and then I'll put it right here. Now you'll notice I can only see one onion skin at a time. If you don't want that at all, you can just click this and that'll turn those off. If you want to see more, you can actually go to the stroke and down here is onion skinning. And I could adjust the keyframes before. So I'll up this to like, let's say 10 and the keyframes after. I'll also do this one to 10. And that way I can see multiple ones all at once and that might be easier. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit the arrow key, do one here. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller. And because I'm going to have this start to like it's going to smear. Then I'm going to do another one. And then we'll make this a little bit smaller yet. And I'm going to have this because now it's starting to really, and then we'll just kind of draw this as a line. And then we'll do this one as like a little bit like this. And then we'll make this bigger again here. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Remember, we want to try and maintain the same kind of volume. And we'll just give it a little bit. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Boom. Like that. Oops, I forgot to change the frame. Here we go. Next frame. Boom. Next frame. Boom. Actually, did I draw all those on the same frame? I think I did. I did. Look at me. Anyway, so that's what you're going to do. You're just going to go through, and if you want to adjust what you can view, if I go down here, I can just click and drag this. So you want to pull this probably to 60 at least, if that's as far as you're going. So I can only see up to 60. And then if we go to, where is it here? No, playback. You can see we can choose playback limit to frame range. And then that will help with this. Now that's not actually going to work because this is not the current frame range. To change the frame range, you have to do it down here. Right now it says 250. I'm just going to go ahead and make it 60. And now that is my frame range. So now if I hit play, you can see it's like that. Now notice also it's a little bit fast. That's because we're running at 24 frames per second. So I'm going to switch this to 12. I screwed this up a lot. Make sure you're switching the frame every time. So to switch it to 12 frames per second, I'm going to go to the output. And right here it says 24 frames per second. It was this one, looks like a printer. And I'm going to just switch that to 12. And that'll just make it so it plays a little bit slower. You can see that's a little bit better. Now it's like it's on twos. All right. And that should be good. So you're just going to basically animate your thing swinging around. Watch a lot of videos of like magicDot. If you go on YouTube, you'll see a bunch. You might find that beneficial just to help like inspire you.